Hi, this is Maggie. Today I wanted to look at the chart of Chester Bennington. The late Chester Bennington. He is one of my favorite heavy metal vocalists. He's in the top 100. He's recently passed away, committed suicide. And so I really couldn't read about him for the longest time, but now I feel it's an appropriate amount of time to look at his chart. And I've seen other people look at his chart, and I really don't feel like they paid him homage. Yeah, I just find his chart very, very intriguing, very complex, and I relate to him on several levels. But first of all, I'm not even giving you his birth info yet, but I will. First of all, his ethereal Venus in Pisces, his ethereal, beautiful, beautiful voice. So he was born Chester Charles Bennington, March 20th, 1976 in Phoenix, Arizona. There is no accurate birth time for him. There's one supposedly word of mouth with astro theme. So I will probably be jumping between two charts, one on astro theme and another one. So there are just a few things I wanted to point out. He has a lot of 0 degrees. I'll start at the beginning. Aries always want to jump ahead, but I will start at the beginning. He is in Aries. Sun, 0 degrees Aries, right on the cusp. And 0 degrees is the critical degree. And I was struck in this one chart by how many 0 degrees he has. You know, even the sun is 0 degrees Aries, the moon is 0 degrees Sagittarius, first house. So it's almost like in the 12th house. Mercury 0 degrees Pisces, Mars 0 degrees Cancer, Jupiter 0 degrees Aries, Saturn 0 degrees Cancer, Uranus 0 degrees Scorpio, Neptune 0 degrees Sagittarius, Pluto 0 degrees Libra, and North Node 0 degrees Scorpio. And Chiron, 0 degrees Aries. I mean, is that even possible? It's just this particular chart kind of blew me away. So I kept, backtracking to Astro Theme to see what they had, and pretty much the same. So extraordinarily unique artist. Extraordinarily, I would put him almost up there with Kurt Cobain. So I'll start with just a few things. He has a grand fire trine in his chart because Saturn is at 26 degrees Cancer, so that's right on the cusp of Leo, so that's what would count as the fire trine. So he has the sun in Aries, Saturn in Cancer, 26 degrees, almost Leo, and moon in Sagittarius. So that's his fire trine that, delivers the heavy metal rage, fiery, puts his fiery emotions into his heavy metal. But then he also has a grand water trine. So it's fire and water. He has Venus in Pisces. That's his, Venus is exalted in Pisces. That's his ethereal, beautiful voice that comes out. His singing is just, his voice is so beautiful. That's one of the reasons between him and Trent Reznor of 9 Inch Nails, NIN. Those are my two ultimate favorite heavy metal artists. Very talented. So his grand water trine is Venus 7 degrees Pisces, Uranus 6 degrees Scorpio, and Mars 0 degrees Cancer. So I just wanted to point out his two trines. He has so many aspects that I can't possibly get to them all in this short of a video. Very complex dynamics. Yes, so I'm going to jump to the other chart just because it's a little more, sorry about that, just a little more graphic. With the houses. So he has a lot in Pisces. I'm going to kind of jump over to where I see his planets. Let's start at the beginning again. Typical Aries, jumping ahead. First house, that's Aries' house, the beginning. And he has fire. Sagittarius, he has Moon, Neptune. So Moon, Neptune can give some confusion about some emotional confusion about perhaps ego, boundaries, or the self or the body. But, you know, he used it musically. But there may have been some boundaries crossed regarding his self, his body. It is in a fire sign. So Moon Neptune is illusion, and he is the master of illusion when it comes to weaving, you know, fantasy and reality into his music with again the ethereal quality of his voice. It just carries you away, and that is Neptune. That is Moon Neptune. So he draws you in to his music through emotion, and powerfully. Neptune is the ruler of Pisces, but because it's in Moon, Neptune are in his first house in fire in Sagittarius, it adds power to it. So I'm going to jump to Pisces. He's predominantly fire and water. His Pisces, 0 degrees Aries is, you know, it's a critical degree because he's mostly Pisces, you know, he's just a brand new baby boy, Aries, you know. So that he has Sun in Pisces, Black Moon Lilith is in Pisces, Mercury, the planet of communication, is in Pisces. So he just emoted with his lyrics. I mean, his lyrics were not always deep and dark. I mean, they were absolutely beautiful. They were beautiful. But because he also has Venus, so Mercury and his true node. And there, this appears to be the 4th house, but because we don't have this correct birth time, you know, I really am going to stay away from the house system. But the planets are, you know, the planets are in Pisces. So communicating beautifully through his voice and using his instrument, his first house Neptune. So he felt, I believe he felt interiorly more Piscean than Arian. I mean, because of all the other planets he had in Pisces and the quality of his voice and the communication and the poetry and the lyrics and the writing and the music coming out of him almost feels to me more Piscean. He does have Jupiter, 28 degrees in Aries. So that's kind of on the cusp too, between Aries and Taurus. So that brought him good fortune to his career. You know, good fortune, money, good luck, financially. And his other part of the water trine, he has 2 malefics in Cancer, Mars 11 degrees and Cancer 26 degrees. Saturn in Cancer 26 degrees and Mars. So that could be a dangerous combination for the emotions, because they are malefic. So he had a lot of despair and turmoil that, you know, he was working through his music, and he was found, you know, dead in his home by suicide. So he really, really struggled with these demons. That may have been a result of his Moon Neptune first house. He may have been abused as a child, or something like that. You know, the Moon Neptune affected his body. So his midheaven's in Leo. He is a star. Pluto he has in Libra. Pluto in Libra is music, bringing his dark transformational lyrics to his music and his art. You know, he went to great depths, and Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, so he brought that. He definitely brought that. The other part of his grand water trine is Scorpio. He has 12th house Scorpio. His ascendant is Scorpio in the 12th house. And Uranus also is in Scorpio, so that Uranus and his north node is in Scorpio, so he was meant to make a mark through his erratic emotions, and he lived out some probably very dark secrets known only to him, because it is the house of the unconscious, and Pluto and Mars are the rulers of Scorpio, and it's a part of this grand water trine that he has, featuring, you know, the two malefics, Mars and Saturn in the 8th house of Scorpio in water, and then the 12th house, very deep water as well, Scorpio. And Uranus would make his emotions very erratic and changeable, extremely changeable, and affect his nervous system as well as his emotional unconscious. So stuff was probably continually coming up for him. The 12th house Scorpio is an extremely deep place to have it. So heavy metal is perfect for him as an outlet. You know, what an outlet for him. You know, in some ways his chart reminds me of Kurt Cobain. Kurt's was almost all water, so he, you know, Chester has fire to balance it out, and a little bit of air. So the midheaven is Leo, 29 degrees, so it's on the cusp of Leo and Virgo, so he worked very hard at his art. So those are the main points. I just can't possibly do all his aspects. It's a very busy chart. But I just wanted to pay tribute to a great artist, and I just really respect his art and his voice and his lyrics, and I have a lot of his favorite songs, so I just wanted to pay tribute to a great artist. And yeah, you know, it's tragic that he's not still with us. We've lost so many great artists, but his music will live on, and God bless Chester Bennington. Thank you.